Okay guys, for today's strategy, we will be backtesting this super easy MA and RSI strategy created by Trader DNA and see if it is interesting. I'm going to be backtesting it 200 times with an initial account size of $1,000. This strategy is simple and very easy for beginners, and everything discussed in the video can be used for forex trading, stock trading, crypto trading, because price action stays relatively consistent across different assets. Don't forget to smash the like button if you found this interesting. Without further ado, let's dive into it. Okay guys, for this strategy, we will be using the British Pounds United States dollar, and we are on the 1 minute time frame, because it is easier to predict, due to the short span of time to hold trade using this strategy. Although this strategy could be used on the 5 minutes time frame, but many things could happen that could reverse the market sentiment during the span of time to hold trades on the 5 minutes chart. So for this strategy, we will be using 2 moving averages to determine the trend, and also, we will be adding the RSI indicator to our chart to beta filter the trade. So let's go ahead and add these indicators to our chart. But before we do, please traders, we are all here to learn, to succeed in more than $5 trillion worth of financial transaction done daily. Traders need each other to beat the big banks and other financial institutions, so you could easily modify the strategy. If you see something worth correcting on to make the strategy a good one, kindly drop it on the comment section so that other traders could work on it with ease. And if you need help backtesting your strategy, then go watch the video at the right top corner of your screen, or you could find the link to the video in the description, in order to see how to submit your strategy request to be backtested, and we would work on it and publish on the channel for other trader to make necessary comment on. If you found a strategy online, you could easily send the link to the strategy as well, and we will be backtesting the strategy too. This channel is built to help traders around the world trade beta and make financial freedom. So let's move on. Bring up the indicator panel. I want you to search for moving average, and we will be applying 2 of these to the chart. Also go ahead and search for the relative strength index. We would also be adding this to our chart as well. Now we will have our chart looking this way. The RSI can be used to determine overextended prices, specifically if the RSI is above 70, the market is overbought, and if the RSI is below 30, the market is oversold. Using the RSI as a trade signal indicator is ideal when combined with trend indicators such as moving averages. This can help you to pick bottoms in a rally or tops in a decline. In other words, using the RSI as a trade signal indicator, you can time your entries within a trend. Let's quickly adjust the setting for these indicators to better understand how the strategy works. Double-click on the moving average to bring up its settings panel. On the input, change the length to 30, and on the style, I want you to change the MA color to white. Go ahead and click on the OK button when you are done. Now also double-click on the second moving average. On the style, change the MA to green for better visualization. Then head over the style and change the length to 10. When you are done, click on the OK button. Using the moving averages crossover as a short-term trend indicator, because moving averages are a lagging indicator. The crossover technique may not capture exact tops and bottoms, but it can help you identify the bulk of a short-term trend. The moving average crossover helps to answer these 3 questions. First, which direction would the price be trending? Second, where might be a potential entry point for a trend trade? And third, when might a trend be ending or reversing? So we would be using the moving average crossover to determine the general trend of the market, as when the green moving average cross above the white moving average, it signals a bullish trend, and when we have the green crossing below the white moving average, it signals a bearish trend. And now for the relative strength index, let us quickly adjust it to better understand the strategy. Go ahead and double-click on the indicator. On the input section, I want you to change the RSI length to 8. Then head over to the style. I want you to untick the RSI based MA. Also untick the upper Bollinger Band and lower Bollinger Band. Untick the middle band. And that's all. Now go ahead and change the RSI upper band to 60, and change its color to white. Also change the lines to a straight line. Now change the lower band to 40 as well as changing the color to white. And don't forget to change to a straight line as well. And when you are done, Click on the OK button. Let's make the final adjustment on the RSI, as we would be adding 2 straight lines to the chart. So go ahead and add your first line to the chart. Double-click on it and change the coordinates to 75. Also add another line to the RSI. Double-click on it and set the coordinates to 25. And we will have our chart looking like this. Now let's quickly go over the rules for a valid buy and sell signal, before we head over to backtesting the strategy. Now for a buy signal to be valid, we need to have the green moving average cross above the white moving average, as this is our first confirmation, as it confirms we are in an uptrend, and we would be entering trade whenever we see the RSI fall below the 40 RSI band line. As it rises up and cross above the 40 RSI band line, we would be entering our trade at the peak of the candlestick. Please note that the RSI should not fall below the 25 band line on the chart when we are hunting for bullish trade entries. So we see we met our condition here, as we got our green moving average cross above the white moving average, and our RSI confirmed a bullish entry at this point. We could see that it did not cross below the 25 band line before closing above the 40 band line, so our trigger candlestick is at this point, where we got our RSI close above the 40 RSI band line, so we will be placing a buy stop order at the peak of this candlestick. Our stop loss is at the recent swing low, while take profit levels is at 3 times the risk. And we could see it was successful. Now for a sell trade to be valid, it is exactly the opposite of our buy entry. For a sell signal to be valid, we need to have the green moving average cross below the white moving average, as this is our first confirmation, as it confirms we are in a downtrend, and we would be entering trade whenever we see the RSI rise above the 60 RSI band line. As it falls and cross below the 60 RSI band line, we would be entering our trade at the bottom of the candlestick. Also note that the RSI should not rise above the 75 band line on the chart when we are hunting for bearish trade entries. So we see we met our condition here, as we got our green moving average below the white moving average, and our RSI confirmed a bearish entry at this point. We could see that it did not cross above the 75 band line before closing below the 60 band line, so our trigger candlestick is at this point, where we got our RSI close below the 60 RSI band line, so we will be placing a sell stop order at the bottom of this candlestick. Our stop loss is at the recent swing high, while take profit levels is at 3 times the risk. And we could see it was successful. Now let's go over some few more examples to better understand our strategy before we backtest the strategy, and also rank it on our spreadsheet for better comparison. So here is a buy trade we would have taken, as we can see that at this point, we had the green moving average cross above the white moving average, confirming we are in a buy trade, though we waited for a pullback as we got here, and also, our RSI confirmed the entry, as we could see it closed below the 40 band line without going below the 25 band line, so we would go ahead and place a buy stop order at the peak of this trigger candlestick. Our stop loss and take profit levels remain the same. And as we can see, it was a successful trade. So now traders, let's quickly backtest our strategy with an account size of $1,000, and we would be covering 200 backtested trades, as we risk 1% of our capital on each trade. Let's dive into it. Okay guys, so we just finished the backtesting for this strategy. I know the win rate is kind of low and below average, but I would definitely be trading this strategy if I were starting out trading. For the fact that it's low risk high reward ratio, it is really a good one, as we take 3 times our risk. Just expect to get drawdowns, as you could start trading when the strategy is not performing well, but expect to have a good run in the long run. We can see we had a win rate of 44%, which is actually not bad for a 3 times our ratio. Having one 189 and lost 111 trades. We could see we made 156% return on investment, and I found those wonderful trade setups within 5 weeks. Before we move on, we would be uploading the upgraded version of this strategy soon, as that could help you triple your account in 5 weeks when combined with this strategy. Although commissions and spread fees would eat up some of the profit in real trading, because it was not included in the backtest, so you definitely want to expect that number to be lower when trading live. The profit factor for this strategy is not looking bad though, and we had 4 wins in a row against 7 losses in a row. So yeah, I'm definitely happy with these results. Okay traders. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.